Today's a good day. We have pretty much finished everything on the new list. We have a wee hanger to do on the exhaust. The RDX injectors need fitted, and I've still to fit my glove box. Bar that, the car is pretty much ready to go on the road. We've changed the file in the ECU. We have done all the wee checks and silly wee bits and bobs. I've actually destroyed my centre console to get it to work, because I've tried to fit my interior back in as nicely as possible. Back seats are back in after doing the fuel pump, and the centre console is now married in nicely. I will get a nicer shifter eventually. Sadly, I couldn't keep my cup holders either, but glove box still, sorry, personal box is still there. So it looks presentable. It is still a street car, it's not a track car at the end of the day. It's pretty much good to go on the road now. The coolant's been bled up. I'm having a bit of an issue with the idle control valve, but I'm going to see if that will sort itself out with a bit of driving. But yeah, that's about it. Double check this list again. Ryan did the valve clearances, and we fitted the new rocker cover. Ryan gave me a Honda Motor Co rocker cover that we gave a quick spray with orange, and then I fitted a really cool sticker that is going to end up coming off when we get it powder coated. What can you do? But yeah, the car is pretty much done. There's bits and bobs that I will go over down the line. I do want power steering, I do want a quieter exhaust, but as it sits right now, I am happy and satisfied that this is a road going car again. Again, a huge thanks to Ryan and all the boys for helping me out. A special mention to Fraser McNeil and Jack Halfblind for being the bad influences that you are. Between you two and Ryan, these are the reason I'm a K-Swap wanker now instead of a B series. But yeah, the car is done, it's complete, it's on the road. I'm just waiting for some better weather to take it a proper test drive. We had a bit of an issue with the file. We've fitted a new TPS as well, actually, a QT Hall Effect one. So that's been changed, it's been calibrated. The file's been changed to just a generic Honda file instead of the mapped one that came on the ECU. So fingers crossed that's fixed the issue with it bogging down. Another late night for us here. Everyone's away home, I'm just kind of running through everything for the camera. But yeah, we have a temp sensor to wire up, so everything else is still sitting down here now. Once that's done and tidied up, I can put my glove box back in as well, and then give everything a good valet, because it's an absolute dump in here. It's very stoory-madoory, but all in good time. All in good time. Like I said, I can't complain. With the progress we've made, what's a little bit of stour. The tools are pretty much all tidied up now, and the parts shelf is no longer a parts shelf because all the bits are on the car. We've got a busy weekend ahead of us. This is Friday night, I'm filming this. Tomorrow we go to Ryan's to fit a B16 to Kyle's car. Kyle's going to be doing that on his channel. Very happy, very happy. This is my wife's car, by the way. I don't think I've talked about this on the channel yet. It's a JDM Euro R. It's K Series 2.
The next day.
Right, it's the next day and we're at Ryan's, but we've got one thing that wasn't on the list. Destroy this absolute shitter of a rocker cover. Ryan's got quite a specific request when it comes to destroying this rocker cover.
That's fucking classic.
So,
Finally, it's gone.
what's happening? So, I've had a few people ask about the cost of all of this, so I've wrote it down and I've made up a list. I love lists, okay? So the engine, I got the engine from Ryan. He did me a really good deal on it, so I'm not going to claim this as the kind of normal price, but the engine, the like standard inlet manifold, throttle body, alternator, starter and flywheel, that was 700 quid. So the engine came with 160,000 miles, completely unopened engine, so it was still the original timing chain, still the original bearings, the original clutch was still on it, and that came to 700 quid. Then there was the transmission side of things, so the box, the gearbox, limit slip diff, final drive, shifter and clutch setup. So standard clutch, and then like the hell braided line and a new slave cylinder. So it's just a standard spec LSD hybrid racing, shifter cables, and obviously it's got the standard DC5 shifter setup. All in, that cost me 1200 quid. 1201.61. Next up's the intake system. So went for air filter, just the pipe with the silicone connectors, the Integra adapter onto the RDC, the hybrid racing throttle cable. All in, that came to 584 quid. Then we've got the fuel system. So radium engineering, fuel rail, fuel pressure regulator with a gauge, all the AN lines for a feed and return, and the radium engineering filter as well, and that's including a Walbro pump too. So that came to 670 quid. As for the coolant side of things, so just a Integra rad with a Mishimoto slim fan, a set of silicone hoses. It's just a set of standard coolant pipes back there to go into the radiator. Radiator works, heating works, everything works. Total that came to 285 quid. Electronics wise, it's a K-Pro V3. A lot of people, they're quite kind of picky, they want what they want, but I wanted a K-Pro because of the simplicity. Like everything in this build, I just want it running again, I want it working. So I went for K-Pro V3 because it was the first thing to come up for sale. It could have been a K100, it could have been a V4. It didn't make a huge difference to me. So with that, all my sensors, conversion harness, anything electrical related. So I got a new TPS, there was the new VSS in the transmission, what else was there? There was a few sensors. There's a couple of sensors that needed replaced, and I just done them because, again, just future proofing the car. I don't want this car to break down again, so I thought I'll keep things simple. If I can get OEM, I'm getting OEM. If not, then it's just going to be the next best thing. So it was the Hall Effect TPS, because you just can't buy OEM. Total for the electronic side of things, ECU all the way through, was £1,075. Next up was hardware. So I got these Hasport, fake Hasports off eBay, along with nuts and bolts, and I got a new heat shield for the VTEC solenoid because the one I had was rotten. Total that came to £294. Again, just everything, try to keep it kind of cheap but reliable. So obviously that was including the power steering loop, which again we're going to sort down the line. It's something I want to get back. I have a pump there. Next up is the exhaust. So the full exhaust system. So that's it's a PLM style exhaust manifold, right back to K-tuned 3-inch back box. A full 3-inch system with a 2.5. I was advised to go 2.5 manifold, a 3-inch system. It makes the car, it benefits the car more than going for a 3-inch manifold. So total for the exhaust system is £489, which I thought was great. You pay more than that just for an exhaust system on its own, especially with a K-tune. The K-tune back box on its own is like 250, 300 quid. But I bought that used. The big hit was service parts, because I went OEM Honda with almost all of it. Every gasket I could get, every seal, everything that I could get a hold of. If I could get it when it was OEM Honda, I was doing it. So it was red label for as much as I could get, and total that came to 1,180 quid and 88 pence. It's not the cheapest, but nothing's cheap these days. So total, that was, with everything so far, has cost £6,479. So all in, to get it to a stage where it's at right now, is cost just shy of £6,500. So there are bits I didn't have to buy. The RBC inlet manifold, I could have went cheaper with the fuel system. I didn't have to put an LSD in the box, blah blah blah. The servicey stuff, you don't have to do it, but again, the engine's out the car, I'm doing it while it's out. The saving grace for this, I wanted the whole repair. I was going to buy a B18 and just put it back to the way it was, but you're talking 2,500 grand to buy a new B18. So I had all the B series stuff to get rid of. I had all of the spare parts for the B series stuff. I had a lot of B series spare parts lying about. There was also like wheels and stuff. I didn't need them, so it was that way where to help with taking a bit of the hit out of the costs. I thought I'll sell the wheels, I'll sell the parts, I'll clear everything out that I didn't need, and total I managed to pull in 5,680 quid, which means that total this whole swap has cost me £830, which is absolutely fantastic. I can't believe how affordable this is. If you have a B series car already, the B series stuff is just climbing in value. And if you want more power, don't bother. Like, I honestly wouldn't bother trying to squeeze power out of a B series. Just K-swap it. Like, K-swaps are K-series are everywhere. There's always somebody breaking a rotten EP3. The B series stuff shifted really easy, and you pick up the K-series stuff without any issues. But aye, that was obviously 6.5. If you didn't buy all the bits I bought, if you didn't go daft with the service parts, you left it quite standard. You left the standard manifold on. Any sort of power adding modifications, you can just keep the exhaust you have. You could probably do a K-swap for like 2.5 grand, and you could probably make that even cheaper again. If you bought a crashed or a rotten EP3, you could get the whole thing done for under £2 honestly. If you had an MB6 or an EG, you don't need to do the subframe swap. You could probably do a full K-swap. If you bought a rotten EP3 and sold all your B series stuff, you could do a full K-swap for under £2 honestly. I might try it. That might be my next project. I might try and do a K-swap in a car and just see how cheap we can get it done. But again, I wouldn't have managed to do this without the help of my pals. Ryan has been great. Fraser at Japcom has done me a solid with a lot of parts in this build as well. But aye, if you get any questions, drop them in the comments below. I'll try and answer any that I know the answer to. Do us a favour and like this video, subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to be doing more. I've still got a lot of bits I want to do. It's still not quite finished. It drives, but there's still some teething issues and stuff that we need to sort out. But aye, yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll try and get another video out soon of just some bits and bobs getting finished off, and maybe even a wee test drive, hopefully, once the weather gets better. But aye, thanks for watching. If you've managed to watch the whole lot from the start, great. If not, go and watch the other videos, see how we got into this mess. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.